Hey nerds, welcome back. I have another Illaoi matchup guide. I heard you guys like playing with Illaoi, so I have another matchup guide. We are talking about Vladimir today. This is something that I've gotten on the Illaoi subreddit 2 or 3 times recently. Um, some people have difficulty with the fact that he can sustain a little bit stronger than you, at least early. He has good wave push. He doesn't actually have to get into melee range to fight you. So we are talking about Vladimir today. Um, the biggest thing you need to worry about is his potential scaling. And we're going to go back, look at runes and masteries. I'd recommend um, either Storm Raider Surge, so you can stick on top of him, or hit up Deathfire Touch for the bonus damage, both in the Armor Pen and the Deathfire. In terms of runes and masteries, he does not do any significant physical damage. So I'm going to suggest something like this with a little... This is something I actually had designed with Rumble in mind, but I run the scaling attack damage on the Quints and the reds, scaling health on the yellows instead of armor, and then I'm running flat magic resist for the early resist in this matchup. So I have a video. So this is kind of like, if you remember, I talked about the Pantheon matchup or the Darius matchup or the one that I just did, the Gangplank matchup. Every time Vladimir walks up to trade with his Q, you want to hit him with your Q back. You're going to heal. He's going to take damage after he's already healed. So if he's using Q for damage specifically, he's going to walk up and use it on the minion, and I got a free Q on him. Now if I'm paying attention to my cooldown, he's going to use it again on the minions. I go for him and I miss, that's okay. So I'm going to pause it real quick. That red bar is his blood frenzy or whatever. We don't care. Just avoid that. He's going to get a short boost of movement speed and his Q is going to hit like a truck. Avoid that early game as much as possible. It's going to do way too much damage to possibly be worried about trading back. So he walks up for a Tides of Blood. I want to retaliate. I land the E. It doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, but he's going to walk up. He Qs me. I take way more damage, and then he gets the blood rush again, and then I walk away to make sure that I don't get hit by that. Had I gotten hit by that, I would have gotten behind in terms of health. That's about the match in a nutshell. The other thing to do is stand behind minions. When he walks up there to do the Tides of Blood, stay behind your minions. So here, he's walking up. I can see he's charging the Tides of Blood, that giant circle on here. I realize that I'm pointing at the screen and you guys can't see that. But if I stay behind these minions, the Tides of Blood is going to hit the minions and it's not going to hurt me. And then he's down a massive trading skill. And I can go for an E. Even though I get hit by the blood rush, I can still out-trade him because I have his spirit. And he takes a ton of damage. If you continue doing this for most of the lane, you will be ahead of him at every step of the game. Rush Death Stance, because that's going to give you just as good a sustain as he has and way more damage. The other thing that you can do is rush Executioner's Calling. And if you get a first item Executioner's Calling, he can't do a damn thing. So I'm going to shove him in. I know that Warwick's bot lane, so I'm safe to do this. And then I'm going to back on 32 CS and pick up an Executioner's Calling. I think I tried to TP bot lane and it was just not going, so I canceled. It was a bad call on my part. So the nice thing on this is Executioners gives you AD, it's a damage item. Your base damages are still really strong. And now he has to worry about his sustain, while you have a decent amount as long as you land your stuff. So you can see just one test of spirit. The test of spirit applies the grievous wounds. The Qs apply the grievous wounds. Warwick's top lane. Just cleared my pink ward. Makes me sad. And now if at any point he walks up and tries to fight you, you can just out-trade him. There he like I did a couple of really bad trades. I got hit by a couple of big blood rushes. I end up picking up this red buff from Ivern. Teleport to lane. I did something stupid. I said I'm never doing this again as I went for Vamp Scepter. Had I gone for something else like Double Longsword or Call Fields, I would have been able to kill him here. And I just blew the flash for a W there. So the fact that he can't heal off you anymore, and the fact that you deal so much damage off of just base damage, and he hasn't gotten any sort of survivability, means you just have complete and total dominance over this. The only thing that matters is the jungle ganks. If he gets to, say, a one item spike, the only thing that I've ever had to worry about is the Tides of Blood, Blood Rush, Proto Belt ulti combo. And so that looks like when he goes really high on the Blood Rush bar, he starts charging his Tides of Blood, he flash ult, releases Tides of Blood, Q Proto Belt. And that does about 900 damage at like level 9 or so. Which makes it all the more important. Keep track of his summoners, which you should be doing anyways. Keep track of his items, which you should press tab and look at his items every time he comes back to lane. And keep track of his ulti cooldown. Like, oh, he has 6. He could engage on me. I need to make sure that I don't miss my test of spirit. If he does that, if he flash protobelts in, make sure you land your test of spirit. Even if he blood pools your ulti, go ahead and ult. He's going to take damage from that spirit while he's in the blood pool, and then he can finish, or you can finish him off. It becomes a DPS race. So, with that, good luck, have fun, and kill many vampires.